Fanaticism.
Azure Gleam. Fanaticism.
That's not ominous.
The year is 1182. 5 moons have passed since the battle at Aryan Road. While the war itself has changed little in this time, Adrestia has undergone a striking transformation. Its rivers run red with the blood of its citizens, who are beset by rampant pillage and slaughter. Dimitri resolves to kill the Emperor, dismantle Adrestia, and put an end to this grim reality.
Is this true, Lady Rhea?
It is. Edelgard told me as much before she left to deal with the upheaval in Enbar. Regent Volkard von Arundel was colluding with Tomas and his fellow knaves.
Edelgard actually entrusted Rhea with something?
For many years, Lord Arundel was a pious adherent to the Church and its teachings, until one day, his contributions abruptly ceased. Speaking of it now, I realize such a sudden change ought to have raised suspicion.
Just like Tomas, he became an entirely different person almost overnight. We had a similar occurrence in Fargus as well. Do you know of the court mage Cornelia?
The one who cured the plague, yes? So she too.
Indeed. I have reason to believe she conspired with Lord Arundel to murder my father. I had assumed them to be agents of the Empire, striving to sow discord within our lands. Yet, back at Aryan Road, the Emperor herself was assaulted by a dark mage who we can assume is in league with Tomas. Whoever these people are, they clearly have their own objectives in this conflict.
As for the man who appeared, Talus, was it? It seemed as though the Emperor recognized him.
Yes. She also claimed this Talus was the one responsible for my father's death. I find it difficult to take a bitter enemy's assertion as fact. But the pieces do fit.
Sorry, am I interrupting? It's been a while, Dimitri. Rhea?
Claude?
That it has, Claude.
Yes!
I'm sorry you had to come all the way to Ferdiad for this.
That makes 2 of us. I can think of plenty of better places for a meeting than this chilly old capital of yours. Of course, I'm the one who asked to stop by in the first place. Thanks for seeing me, Dimitri. The Empire's sure been busy lately. An uprising over here, a siege over there. You'd think they'd get tired of causing so much chaos. But now they're looking to cross the Aramid and do the exact same in Alliance territory. I doubt it'll be long before we start getting hit with some serious losses.
Which is why we should join up.
Which brings me to my point. What say we partner up and use our combined strength to bring the Empire down?
Yes, the answer is yes.
I am grateful to hear such a suggestion, Claude. Hardened as our soldiers may be, even the combined force of the Kingdom and the Knights of Seros pales in comparison to the staggering might of Adrestia.
If we ever hope to take their capital, we'll need to splinter their army between east and west. And, as Enbar lies in the southernmost reaches of the Empire, carving a path to it will not be an easy task.
I could get behind scattering their troops, but they've got a bear of a man in Count Burgles defending their eastern flank.
Just sick Holst on him.
Passing through Hevring territory in the west won't be smooth sailing either. The Ogma Mountains aren't exactly what I'd call welcoming.
You're right. Any attempt at head-on assault will leave our forces depleted and exhausted before we even reach the capital.
But hey, you're in luck. I have a plan. A way we can target Enbar without so much hassle. All we have to do is claim one vital stronghold, and their sway in Fodlan will shrink dramatically. Any ideas what it is?
Please not another quiz.
Garreg Mach.
Okay.
Hey, you really know your stuff, Dimitri.
Garreg Mach is sacred to us. Reclaiming it would provide a significant boost to morale. But how do you propose we strike at such a well-fortified location?
We'll draw the Imperial Army out to our respective front lines, then launch a pincer attack on the old monastery from both the east and the west. It's not the fanciest plan in the world, but it's all we've got right now.
Then allow me to suggest an idea of my own. I believe we should approach by way of Aelel. The valley is not closely guarded by the enemy, and its narrow paths negate any numerical advantage they may hold over us. If all 3 of us dispatch our best warriors, then I am certain we can retake Garreg Mach.
The Valley of Torment, huh? You're a better tactician than I gave you credit for, Rhea. How about this? First, we create a diversion by sending separate forces to the east and west and making it look like we aim for their capital. That'll split their focus. Then, when the time's right, we shift our attention to Garreg Mach, sending an army through the Valley of Torment to reclaim it.
The issue then becomes how to hold our ground on both the eastern and western fronts. The west does not concern me on its own, but we will have Count Burgleys to contend with in the east.
Just sick host on him, I'm telling you.
The trick is engaging the enemy as little as possible. And don't worry, I've got a few surprises up my sleeve if we need them.
The Knights of Seros may be few in number, but they are all the more agile for it. They will act separately, providing reinforcements wherever necessary.
Thank you, Lady Rhea. The support is much appreciated.
Tell me, Dimitri, are you gonna stay buddied up with the Central Church once this war is over?
My people still seek their guidance. So long as that is the case, I will continue to offer them shelter.
Meaning what? You'd toss them out on the street if nobody needed them anymore?
That's such a great way of putting it. Thank you, Claude. Thank you.
I doubt such a day would ever dawn. Territories may change, but people's hearts will always be stubborn things. Even if we started our own church like the Empire has, there's no guarantee our citizens would accept it in any timely manner, or at all. Let me ask you, Claude. How long do you plan to maintain this partnership with the kingdom?
Forever. Forever.
I hope we can keep this beautiful thing going for many years, long beyond the trouncing we're about to hand the Empire.
Yes, the answer is yes.
That glint in your eye says otherwise. But I'm glad to accept you as an ally, for the time being at least.
Come on, you can't seriously be doubting me already. Learn to trust a little, Dimitri. And speaking of trust, I trust you'll be throwing a big feast tonight to celebrate the occasion. I can't wait to taste that old-fashioned Fargus hospitality.
Yay, we have an alliance.
Hard to believe it's already been 6 months since the siege back at Aryan Road.
Quite. It's no surprise we've been at a standstill, though. Both the Empire and Kingdom suffered heavy losses during the battle. But lucky for us, it seems the ice is finally thawing. Let's hope you've kept your wits as sharp as your blade all this time.
Ah, there you are.
Hey, what are they doing here?
Oh, it's Lawrence. I didn't even notice. But like, look, it's the deer. It's the golden deer. I'm so happy.
Were you not made aware? Our fine leaders have seen fit to integrate our armies, as we'll be fighting on the same side from here forward. Claude was quite insistent on our joining you on the Western Front.
The fact that Lawrence is here, I feel like Claude was just like, hey, Lawrence, you're going to be our ambassador with the Kingdom Army. Go ahead to Fargus. Go ahead to Ferdiad. I don't know, just like, because, just putting him as far away from himself as possible. Putting Lawrence as far away from Claude himself as possible. Out of his hair. Away from his scheming.
I just wish it wasn't so cold here. I can feel my muscles tightening up already.
Maybe put on a coat? I don't know.
Yes. I had hoped the cold would at least bring a picturesque snowscape with it, but alas.
That's the only reason Ignat's joined. It's like, ooh, maybe I can paint. Maybe I can paint new, I don't know. Mountain ranges covered in snow, beautiful landscapes. But no, it's just cold.
I'm sorry to say we receive little snowfall in this part of the kingdom. I imagine our winters aren't all too dissimilar from those you experience in Leicester.
Disappointment is what that is.
So, what would you like us to do?
Well, I guess there are two options. Either you all can stay on the front lines with us, or join the rear guard and help in a more indirect way.
Either is more than acceptable for us, though I should say our preference would be to fight by your side. If we fail to distinguish ourselves here, there will be no end to Claude's sarcastic wit upon our return.
Is it saying that if I recruit them to my team, then I get characters, and if I send them to a rearguard, then I don't get any characters? I don't. This is a difficult decision. Also, I don't think I had a save, like, before this point. I think, like, the last save was right after, maybe, we conquered Aryan Road? That battle? Maybe? I don't remember. I don't wanna, I didn't have a save point. Alright, let's just recruit them to our team. Seems like the safe answer.
Let's take them at the front with us. That's where we're gonna need the most help.
Agreed. We can discuss further with the others later, but it's safe to assume that is the direction we'll head.
Very well. Allow us to show you what Alliance soldiers are capable of.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Nice of Claude to be sending us backup.
Indeed. It's hard to know what their motivations may be, but we need all the help we can muster.
Your tone's telling a different story, though. What's up?
It's merely that we all have our own reasons for taking part in this fight. Everyone, Claude, Rhea, even us. Each side is watching the other like famished hawks for the slightest hint of foul play.
So don't do anything like, you know, go into it. Like, don't try to betray anybody. Don't try to betray them.
What? You mean there's more to this thing than just stopping the Empire?
Yes. For my part, I would like to uncover the true nature of this enemy hidden in the shadows of Fodlan. The Church likely wants little beyond the reclamation of Garreg Mach. As for Claude, who can say? Rodrigue should be joining us here in the coming month, after he's finished tying up loose ends in the West. But even as our numbers burgeon, we can't afford to lower our guard. The situation demands constant vigilance.
We got Lawrence, Raphael, Ignat, Marianne. Temporarily parted ways with Rodrigue. Okay, so Dimitri can become a Great Lord now. Oh right, Dimitri asked to see me. Something about a decision he's making. Alright, so we got all 4 people that were, like, in the cutscene, so I guess maybe if we had chosen the other one to send them to the rear guard, then we wouldn't have been able to recruit them at all. They wouldn't have joined the team. I guess. Alright, let's, run around and talk to everybody.
What do you think?
How did it feel going onto the battlefield again? Were you overcome with sentimentality? Exciting? No different than usual?
Nuh-uh.
Not really. I felt calm like always. Glad to hear it. I'm certain you are much stronger now than you were half a year ago. Alright, cool.
Greetings. You there.
We meet again, Shaz. Now that I have arrived, you have nothing more to fear. For I am the one who carries both the Alliance and its gloriously unreliable leader upon my very shoulders. Yes, this is why Claude sent him away. My larger concern is for the Alliance territories. The people must be losing sleep over my absence. Sure. Or they're throwing a party right now. I must apologize. You finally have reinforcements, and yet you get me as their commander. It's okay. We want you, Marianne. We want you on the team. If it bothers you, I can return to the Alliance at once. Encourage her. Say her attitude. Oh, that's a little harsh. No, thank you. What are you talking about? You've already come this far. We're all counting on you, so just do the best you can.
Yes.
Right, I'll try. Oh, Marianne. Okie dokie. Dorothea. Another battle on the horizon, and one that will decide the Empire's fate, no less. Have you heard how the Imperial Army's in disarray? I wonder what's going on. And what has become of Adie? Tell her to focus on our allies. Agree it's concerning.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's definitely a concern. If the Empire falls apart, chaos will spread through the rest of Fodlan. You're probably right. Maybe I should... No, I'm sorry. I'm all right. I can fight. The battlefield is my stage, after all. Only for a little while longer. Hopefully. Maybe we can all just join teams. I was hired as a formality, of course, but I have subordinates and family in the kingdom, so it all worked out for the best. Don't worry, trust is the foundation of my business. I'm not going to betray you simply because it strikes my fancy. But I suppose I would understand it if someone didn't believe me because of my circumstances. No, we trust you, we believe in you. Happy to have you on the team. The Empire has greatly changed since their defeat at Aryan Road. Her Majesty reappointed Duke Ire and delegated the majority of political administration to him. And look how well he's doing. And Ferdinand just lets him go on going on. He should have stayed banished if you ask me. Both Lord Ferdinand and the Marquis disappeared from the palace soon after. Oh, okay, so Ferdinand and I think Hubert just disappeared? Did they take Edelgard with them? Because really? There's no future for the Empire. Joining the Kingdom Army was the right choice. Oh, you defected. Okay, thank you. I hope you're not a spy.
That reminds me.
One time I was driving my wagon down the road after it rained, and wouldn't you know, it got stuck in the mud. A knight just happened to be passing by, and he stopped and lifted the wagon straight out of the muck, all by himself. It wasn't until later that I found out that knight was the king. I just about keeled over, let me tell you. I'm forever grateful, and maybe a little frightened. A regular person shouldn't be able to do that. Wow, Dimitri. Wow. An entire wagon. Probably did it one-handed, too. Probably did it one-handed. Oh, hey, Shaz. Nice timing. Let me introduce you to my partner here. The name's Shamir.
you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for your help at Aryan Road. Shamir left the Knights of Saros 2 years ago and has been working as a mercenary in the Alliance. But she's going to be fighting with us from now on. I can vouch for her skills. So can we. Oh. To Catherine? To Shamir?
It's you.
Huh. Oh, okay. I was like, we can't take Catherine on an expedition, but we can Shamir. It's because, well, spoilers. Anyways.
It's a great day. Nothing to report.
With all these Alliance folks coming to lend a hand, feels like our camp went from boring to bustling overnight. Seeing all these people milling about reminds me of when I was at Garrick Mach.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Even though it's all just gonna get tossed in the trash. Right when things have finally died down in the West, they go and send my father to the Alliance. Really? He works too much, even though he's getting on in years. What am I gonna do with him? Not in agreement, say she's the same way. You're working your tail off too, you know. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Oh, well, but I'm a lot younger than him, and in better shape too. Since he's working so hard, there's no excuse for me not to do the same. Give 1,000%, Annette. 1,000%.
To tell the truth,
I spent some time in Camulus and was exceedingly busy helping all the people there. Many were fleeing from the Empire with the Central Church's aid. Sympathize? Point out how ironic that is. Because the Central Church fled from the Empire too? Or because the Empire was the ones who kicked out the Central Church in the first place?
Yeah.
That must have been rough. Since you're back, does that mean things have settled down over there? Yes, for now, though I'm sure the situation will grow dire once the fighting starts. The battlefield is a dreadful place, and it's truly horrifying to take another person's life. And yet, at this point, the thought of doing nothing is far worse. Well, we're happy to have you with us. Looks like my days of peace and quiet are over.
so wrong!
Why do you think they're sending me to the front lines again? Is it because I'm from the Empire? Oh, this is too much pressure. Encourage, admonish.
You sure?
It's not about where you're from. People are just counting on you, and no one's forcing you to do anything. Counting on me? Well, when you put it that way. All right, I'll do it. Aw, Bernie. Okay. Oh, there's somebody in here. Maybe.
Are you busy?
The king's attendant is from Dusker, and some commoners have been knighted as well. I heard that even a former bandit's become a general. Oh, and a mercenary captain has too. I wonder if they promote someone like me one day. I've got more than enough ambition. Work hard. We believe in you.
I know you.
Hey, long time no see. You haven't changed a bit. How's it been going? Good. Not so good.
Right on.
I'm good. Can't complain. Though I'd be even better if we could end this war with the next campaign. Wouldn't that be nice? At any rate, I'm glad to be working with you again. My motivation goes right out the window when you're not around. Aw. Happy. We're happy to see you too. I should stop doing that. I really should. Okay, we're gonna have to come back here and visit once we're done talking to everybody. So we can get Catherine all her thingies.
Hey!
We probably shouldn't lean on the Alliance too much, but it is nice to have more allies. Are you suspicious of them? Don't be suspicious of the MASH. We've even got people from the Golden Deer here now, which is really reassuring. Agree. Absolutely. Definitely. They're a force to be reckoned with. I'll be counting on them in battle.
I agree.
The Empire may have sheer numbers, but I think there may be hope for us yet. But as to what'll happen between us after the Empire is defeated, your guess is as good as mine. World peace, please.
Amazing. Actually.
This is my first time visiting Kingdom territory. There's something fascinating around every corner here. The varied climate allows for diverse and rare plant life, and each town or village has their unique charms. Oh, Ignatz. Truly, Fodlan's vastness astounds me every day. Oh, my apologies. I must compose myself. We are at war, and I am a knight, after all. Ignatz. Nobody in here. Let's go into training grounds first. Raphael!
So, yeah.
Good on you for sticking with the Kingdom Army this long. Must have been tough, huh? But your hard days are over now. I've called in a favor from Claude, you see. Guess what the favor is? I feel like it's just food. Hey Claude, let's ship over some food from the Alliance.
Huh?
Not sure I follow. What did you ask him for? Meat. Oh, okay. I asked him to get us some delicious, juicy meat so we can really give it our all. We'll be swimming in tasty foods from all over the Alliance in no time, so make sure you get good and hungry. Thanks, Raphael. We appreciate it. We do. Better than stale bread and jerky, right? There's... Oh, Petra. Petra, listen.
Excuse me.
We're seeing each other after a long time. Are your skills still sharp? Of course, you went back to Bridget, right? Yes, home was very good. I went to the ocean and forest like when I was a child. I also said hello to the spirits. Ask about the ocean, ask about the spirits. Spirits. Can't say I really understand, but they sound important to Bridget. They are, but spirits are everywhere. You could be praying for their protection too. Thank you. We will.
So anyway,
there's this guy I know. He's one of the best mercs you'll ever see. He's got to be raking in the coin, but every time I bump into him, he's always asking for money. Sounds like Balthus. Last time I saw him, he was working for the Empire. I wonder if he's still with them. If he's helping with all their pillaging, I'll bash his brains in myself. Yep, and he would deserve it too. I guess that means we're getting Balthus next. Because last time we had random people talking about Yuri, or hinting at him. Anyway, we ended up getting him in the main battle, so I think this means we're getting Balthus next. And the way things are going, hopefully, Constance as well, eventually. Okay, military history of Partholon. Harpstring Moon, year 892. The Strang people mounted a large-scale invasion. They crossed the Ruska Mountains in the north and descended south into Vargas. King Banfig built a string of strongholds along the north of his domain, from Blathid to Fraldarius, including Conan Tower. Wyvern Moon, year 895. Having finally forced Strang to retreat, Vargas was in position to counterattack. However, Strang's resistance and the harsh, snowy conditions caused them to abandon their attack. Thus, hostilities drew to a close. After the campaign, a young and fierce general by the name of Letitia Zoe Gautier, royal knight and descendant of the elite hero Gautier, was widely praised. Great Tree Moon, year 896. Banfig confers the northern part of his territory on Letitia. She is given the title of Margrave and tasked with defending Vargas's border. Letitia sets to work, strengthening defenses in the north, constructing strongholds throughout the Ruska Mountains on the border with Strang, and reclaiming the lands of Ruin from the Church of Saros. Verdant Rain Moon, year 1169. Having waited for summer, King Lambert joins with Northern Lords Gautier and Fraldarius to march on Strang. The Kingdom Army sets up camp in a single stronghold within the Ruska Mountains and opens hostilities with the Strang Army. Horsebow Moon, 1196. The Kingdom Army is progressing northwest through the peninsula, but while engaging the Strang chief Oleg and his forces, a gigantic beast suddenly enters the fray. It lays waste to both sides. Lambert sustains grave injuries, and Oleg disappears into a ravine. Oleg's son offers his own youngest child, Leaf, as a prisoner to House Gautier to broker peace. Interesting. Interesting. So they're kind of family? Maybe?
Right.
Got a second?
You went back to Galatia for a bit, didn't you? How was it? Your family holding up okay? Not much has changed, thankfully. Also, my father said to make sure I sent his regards. Sent you his regards. He said you know what that means. Whoa, wait, did I do something wrong? I haven't done anything, right? At least not lately. It's my father's idea of a joke. I'm certain he knows how hard you've been working. And how has your family been? Since, your brother...
So the story is...
My father's been the same as ever, but I think my mom's taking it pretty hard. Miquelon wasn't her biological son, but she cared about him all the same. Aside from that, there's been nothing out of the ordinary in Gautier territory. Destroying armies came knocking a few times, but we sent them packing. I see. Well, I suppose no news is good news then. Okay, so that answers my question from earlier, which was, like, we read this thing about how, when Miquelon's mother, like, I don't know, retreated to the north. I think it was the north. And, you know, she was pregnant, I think, right? And whether that baby was Sylvain or not. That answers that question. All right. Hey, Felix. Hey, Felix. How you doing? If you asked me a few months ago, I never would have guessed Fodlan would be in such turmoil. I always thought the Emperor's approach was a bit rash. But it didn't seem wholly unreasonable either, at least not until the battle at Aryan Road. Duke Ayer was reinstated as Prime Minister right after that, in fact. It's almost as though he was just waiting for the Emperor's defeat, don't you think? Indeed.
Good day.
Our camp certainly is lively now that the Alliance has joined us. It feels as though I am gazing upon a scene from the Academy. Ah, this takes me back. I hope this will be an opportunity for me to cultivate new friendships. We hope so too. We hope so too.
Well met.
The death of the head of House Rowe marked their downfall. To be blunt, their territory belongs to a royal family now. If I make a name for myself in this battle, I might be granted my own land. A guy can dream, can't he? Still, I wonder who will end up with Aryan Road. I don't know, but give it to Yuri. That way he can't use the information against us, you know? He'll have to protect it for himself.
Hey!
I came here under our leader's orders. Imagine my surprise when I found out the kingdom's food is practically inedible. I guess Claude didn't enjoy himself at that feast either, huh? Maybe it's because the land's not as fertile or something, but the grub's tasteless, and don't even get me started on the booze. I'm the best chef the Alliance has to offer. It's high time I teach these kingdom folks what real food is. All right, cool. Let's get to it.
I see. A moment.
The Archbishop has long hoped to recapture Garrick-Mach Monastery. Now that wish might finally come to fruition, and we have Claude to thank for it. Though I would have preferred him to be a devout follower of the Church. Say he is a follower, say you're not devout either. Lie? Truth. Lie? Truth.
Meh.
I wouldn't say I'm devout either. Not all of us are religious.
Oh.
Of course not, nor would I censure you for that. However, it is undeniable that the people in Alliance territory are less religious than those in the kingdom. The Eastern Church presides over Leicester, yet they do not appear particularly enthusiastic in spreading the faith. On the other hand, the Western Church's fanatical leanings are another cause for concern. So, I mean, if you had to choose between the two, right? You would want to choose the one that doesn't try to start an uprising and overthrow the Central Church, right?
Have you need of me?
Much has changed in Fargus over the past few months. For instance, houses Mateus and Gideon have new leaders, and Lord Rodrigue is currently stationed in the west to ensure conflicts are kept to a minimum. Can't read. Though I expect all is relatively calm there now, so he should undoubtedly return to us next month. Cool. And then he and Dimitri can finally have their A support. Okay, that looks like everybody outside, so.
Well?
After the battle at Aryan Road, His Majesty remained stoic until we returned to Ferdiad. However, after issuing orders for our next steps, he promptly collapsed and did not wake for 3 days. Ooh, 3 days. When he finally awoke, he immediately returned to working on political affairs. That tendency of his never ceases to worry me. Sorry, dude. Sorry.
Over here.
Dimitri?
I've been waiting for you.
I've been waiting for you, Shez. Follow me. We will begin the meeting at once. I'd like to hear from everyone. Please share any suggestions you have. Oh, Flame's at the table too. That's interesting.
I have an idea.
Slightly increased class experience gained when training in swords.
I've had a thought.
Increased class experience in lances.
I was thinking...
And class experience in tomes.
I have a worthy proposition.
Not gonna lie,
I have
don't
an
really
idea.
care about any of these.
I was thinking...
I have a worthy proposition.
A lot of lance users, so I guess, maybe? And I get like
I've had a thought.
Get their morale boosted with this one, whereas the other ones are just one, so I don't know.
Leave it to me.
Now then.
That's settled then. Ready yourselves for battle. Wait, their support points with each other or with us?
Impressive.
Excellent work, Shez. We now have a solid plan thanks to you. Our battles will only grow more intense from here on out. There's no telling when we may lose one of our dear allies. You might want to spend time with him while you can. That way you will harbor no regrets should tragedy... Thanks. Thank you. It's very optimistic and uplifting. Thank you, Dimitri. That way you will harbor no regrets should tragedy strike. That's not ominous at all. Thinking about my friends reminds me of my old mercenary band. Actually, I made a little something when I first became a full-fledged mercenary. Might not be a bad idea to give that to someone. It'll be my way of saying I'll always be there for them. Okay, cool. Let's just give it to Dimitri then. Oh, Dimitri to do our tracking now. Your Majesty, please take care. Your wounds have barely healed, and yet you're working incessantly.
No.
When should I work, if not now? There is no need for concern. I can wield my spear as I always have. Agree with to do, agree with Dimitri.
No way.
You sure you're not just trying to tough it out? Getting enough rest is part of your job too. I suppose you have a point, but I promise, I know my limits. And if I'm honest, my thoughts tend to stray to the situation with the Empire regardless. I cannot fully relax. If we had been able to defeat Edelgard, or better yet, Talus.
No.
What's past is past, Your Majesty. Right now, we must focus on the battle before us. Yes, you are right, my friend. Alright, not sure who I'm talking to right now, but we're just gonna give it to Dimitri.
No.
This gift is unique. You won't receive. Yeah.
For me?
We're just
Thank
talking
you.
to the back of his head.
I will
fine.
treasure it, always.
It's fine. It's whatever.
I'd like for you to have this.
Azure Dagger as a gift from Dimitri. All right, cool. We could switch that. We might switch that later. All right. We missed a person over here.
Actually,
There's a ton of people here now, what with folks from Leicester adding to the kingdom and church's numbers. It was just recently we began to see eye to eye with the people from Fargus. I hope we can get along with those from the church in Leicester too. Absolutely. We're all about unity here.
I have exhausted most of the Pegasus Corps, so how should I advance the mounted units on the ground?
A tricky proposition indeed. The enemy general won't be foolish enough to miss a chance to seize the advantage here.
If we are going to face the enemy with our remaining troops, it would be best to have the mounted units take up formation in the narrow pass to the east. Then, the remaining Pegasus Knights can attack from the cliffs above and end this quickly. Still, my scouts claim there may be archers stationed on those cliff tops.
Naturally. Everyone knows to expect Pegasus Knights as soon as they see the standard of Galatea. The enemy will doubtless be ready for this.
Yes, it is quite the predicament. I cannot help but wonder what my father or brothers would do. As someone who commands an army of Galatea, withdrawal is not an option.
Are you sure, though? There's nothing wrong in a retreat.
I don't think you need to rack your brain over this too hard, Ingrid.
But if we fight without any sort of strategy, we will suffer major casualties.
Which might prove to be in your favor. If the enemy sees your back to the wall, they may let their guard down and grow reckless. How many Pegasus Knights stand ready?
Nearly half. Perhaps more if their wounds can heal in time.
Then select the most skilled from among them, and make for the cliff tops.
And fly into the jaws of their trap?
While using the speed of the Pegasi to minimize injury, make it look like you're taking a desperate retreat. Then withdraw your troops. If the enemy thinks they've subdued the famed Pegasus Knights of Galatea, they'll deploy troops from their main fortress, leaving it lightly guarded. Once they do, send a separate unit of your remaining Pegasus Knights to capture it.
Yes, that just might work. You are amazing, Lord Rodrigue. I suppose this comes from your wide range of experience.
Actually, it's a strategy suggested by your brother once upon a time.
My brother? Oh, that's right. I believe he served in Srang while he was still a squire.
Despite his low rank, he astonished us all with his clever suggestions for deploying our flying units.
Aww.
I have a long way to go if I wish to live up to him. I must prove more diligent about studying strategy.
Very ambitious. My son could stand to learn a thing or two from your example. But you ought not overextend yourself. Make certain to rest those wings every once in a while. I wouldn't be able to face the Count or your brothers if I allowed you to work yourself to exhaustion.
Resting my wings is a rather difficult proposition. I can't very well run about playing games as I did when I was a child. In any case, I thank you very much for the advice. I think I know how to proceed now.
The pleasure is mine, Ingrid. This is a most dangerous strategy, so let's endeavor to make sure we both come out of this alive. Ah, you're back. I heard you went to Fraldaria's territory?
To visit Glenn's grave?
Yes, I had a bit of business to take care of there. I forgot how long it had been.
What was it like to return?
It was always like a second home to me in a way. So being there brought memories flooding back. I found myself taking little detours everywhere, even though I knew I did not have time for such trifles.
And what impression did it give in its current state?
The region itself is quiet and peaceful, but lack of food has left the surrounding towns and villages in a precarious situation. It reminds me of when the people of Galatea territory fought over provisions during famine. If things keep on as they are, there could easily be an uprising.
Perhaps we should ask the refugees to cultivate the land. Ah, but that isn't my decision to make. Thank you, Ingrid. I will let Felix know your thoughts on the matter.
I would appreciate that. Oh, and it's not as if everything has changed for the worse. There were new shops around, and all of the roads were well maintained. It's surprising to see how much has changed over the years.
That's right. You used to visit multiple times a year, when Glenn was still alive.
I did. Yes. Though I might never have visited again if I had not been presented with this opportunity. I am glad I decided to take it. Once this war is over, would you mind if I came to visit Fraldarius land as I once did?
Not in the slightest. You can visit any time you like. I'm sure that Felix and the rest of my family would welcome you with open arms.
Aww.
We certainly owe you that much, considering all you've put up with from my sons.
Not at all. If anything, they put up with me. My brothers are both so much older than me, so Glenn and Felix were among my few friends growing up. Thinking back on it, I feel like I was always ordering Glenn around.
Well, if the time you two spent together helped you in even the smallest way, I am satisfied.
I'm gonna cry.
And I know Glenn would be overjoyed.
Stop it! You're gonna make me cry.
Those days are irreplaceable to me. They will live in my heart forever.
Spoken like a true daughter of Count Galatea. You've grown strong, Ingrid.
Thank you for saying so. Still, I want to keep moving forward as best I can.
Yet it's good to acknowledge one's limits. People are allowed to show weakness, you know. Oh, look at me, talking your ear off, while you're still covered with dust from the road. My apologies.
No, I am grateful for the concern. Thank you.
There's no need for thanks. After all, you're like a daughter to me.
Oh, gotta wipe our tears off after that one.
My apologies, Felix. Am I getting in the way of your work?
No, I just finished up. What do you need?
I picked this up on the training grounds. I think it might be yours.
Hey, that's my brother's spur. I thought I'd lost it.
I ran around asking all the knights who it belonged to. The royal crest made it seem important. You really should take better care of it. Didn't Glenn receive this as a gift from the late king?
Yep.
Don't shrug me off like that. I am surprised. You never struck me as the type to keep such a memento with you.
Guess I thought it might come in handy someday.
Whatever you say. Just make sure you don't misplace it again.
Ingrid. Wait.
Yes?
You should have it.
Excuse me? Absolutely not. I could never accept something so precious.
When my brother was appointed by the king, who do you think he told first? It wasn't me or my father. It was you. So take it.
But
If you want the truth, I always planned to give it to you anyway. I just never found the right time.
Well, if you insist, then I accept. Thank you, Felix.
But don't get the wrong idea. I'm not doing this so you can go drown yourself in grief.
Oh, I am very much aware. I know full well how much you detest such displays of sentimentality. I should get going. I have a meeting to attend. Farewell, Felix.
Finished giving your report?
Yes. I hope you were not waiting too long. Did you need me for something?
Need is a strong word. I just wanted to commend you. I heard that last fight was brutal, but you made it out alive.
None of us expected it to evolve into such an arduous battle. We were only supposed to be dealing with some bandits.
So you weren't injured?
I'm fine. So is everyone else in the unit, thankfully. Though even in the darkest moments, I never lost hope. All thanks to this.
My brother's spur? You're telling me that hunk of steel helped you?
Perhaps not in a practical sense, but it certainly bolstered my spirits. This spur symbolizes Glenn's pride and sense of duty, things he fought for to his dying breath. I couldn't very well give up while I carried something with that much meaning.
Aww.
It gave me the courage to keep fighting.
I don't get it. It's all well and good to remember the dead, but sentimentality will get you killed. All the tears in the world couldn't bring them back after all.
You have always viewed the world in such stark terms. It might even be one of your strengths. But one day, you will learn that emotions and sentimentality are also a strength, not a curse.
So the dead can help the living? Interesting idea.
Can we continue this later? I think I have earned a good night's sleep.
Ingrid, wait. Will you do something for me?
I'm listening.
Go visit my brother. This war shows no signs of stopping, which means you have plenty of battles ahead of you. And if you're so certain the dead can help the living, it couldn't hurt to offer him some flowers.
Aww. You want me to go to Glenn's? I mean, of course. But you should join me. And perhaps His Majesty as well. And even Lord Rodrigue, Sylvain, Sir Gustav, everyone.
Are you planning to host an entire banquet at his gravestone?
What would be wrong with that? What would be wrong with that?
That was not my original intention, but now that you mention it, a festive meal might be nice. We could all use a little relaxation, and Glenn always preferred a joyous atmosphere to a somber one.
Fine, just don't die before then, okay? Anyway, I'm keeping you. Go get something to eat and get some rest.
I will do just that. Thank you, Felix.